Welcome you guys to a recap every single NFL team for the 2021 season. We're on the Denver Broncos in the AFC West. And the Broncos season, you look at it and you're like, this season was a very forgettable season. You start off with trading Von Miller to the Rams, and ultimately Von Miller wins the Super Bowl with the Rams. You stay with Drew Lock as your quarterback and Teddy Bridgewater. Um, there's a lot of things in that offense that needs work. A lot of things need work. So they have a record of 7-10 at the end of the season, and I know people saying, "Oh well, they had a 3-0 record." They had a 3-0 record against people, against teams like the Jags, against teams like the fucking New York teams, and so like, is that really good? And then when they face an actual good team like the Bengals or the Chiefs or whoever, then they just got their asses kicked, and they went on a 4-game losing streak, and then they won, I think, their last game of the season, which made them 7-10, fourth in the AFC West. And I'm gonna go through a couple of the numbers here. They had advances and defensive numbers. Kyle Fuller, who they got from the Bears last offseason, was 16 games started, 16 games, 10 started, no interceptions, TG of 67, and completion of 43, and he had 553 yards. Patrick Surtain the second had played 16 games, started 15, 4 interceptions, 96 TIT, and completion of 31. Kareem Jackson had 9 games, 15 games, 15 starts, 1 interception, 36 TNT, TGT, and a completion of 28. And going to the defense side, so on the advancing rushing, we had Nolan Fate, who has been traded to the Seahawks, but he had 16 games, 16 starts, TGT of 10, and a record of 68, and 670 yards, 4 touchdowns for the season. Tim Patrick had 16 games, 16 starts, 85 TGT, and a record of 53 and 5 touchdowns of the season. And then we had advanced rushing. I don't know why I had that twice in my notes I took here, but we have Melvin Gordon, who had 16 games, 16 starts, 203 yards, 203, and then he had yards of 918, 48, 1D, and then Teddy Bridgewater had 14 games, started 14, 3,600 yards, 71 UBC. But the Broncos, I like what they did in the offseason, and they went big after the season finished, and they got Russell Wilson. Now, people saying, would you get Russ? Because he's 33, he's a stopgap, he's not going to be the long-term fix. And if I'm the Denver front office, I'm thinking, why did we not go for a Mac Jones? Why did we not go for a Justin Fields? Because, yes, Justin Fields didn't have a good season with the Bears, but he could become a top quarterback, and if he has a great season next season for the Bears, like, Denver's like, shit, like, we should have gotten Justin Fields last season, and then you would have had your quarterback ready. But I understand they're thinking that they're going for a here and now Russ, but you need, if you're going to go big with Russ, you've got to go big with everything else you need, like a wide receiver, an edge rusher, a center. You need to basically go big. So wide receiver, I said this in my Tennessee Titans recap I did, but go big, go for somebody like Robert Wood. He's won a Super Bowl, he's proven, he's actually a winner. Unlike Russ, who's never won a Super Bowl, but you've gone for him, he's going to compete in that division with Mahomes and Carr and stuff like that. And that AFC West is going to be a very competitive division now. You've got West, you got Derek Carr in there, you have Mahomes in there, you have Um, now you have Russell Wilson as well. It's just good things, but you need to protect that offensive line as well. Russell Wilson, you don't want to get exposed too much because, like I said, he's older and that offensive line needs work. Um, Tight end, you could go for. I said here for the tight end. If I look it up. Now tight end, you could go for Chandler Jones for like stopgap for tight end. Um, but overall, you could even get an older backup as well. But yeah, leave you guys' thoughts in the comments, guys. And